So you want to lucid dream so that you can have more conscious time. I was gonna ask what your opinion is and what you think dreaming is. You know, I'll ask any. What do you think, in your personal opinion, dreaming is? And what do you think about nightmares? That could lead us into a few of the bad things about lucid dreaming, because there is bad parts about lucid dreaming, and I do want to stress them too, because I don't want anybody listening to just assume lucid dreaming is this magical thing, right? So when you first start lucid dreaming, and this is going to be something that you experience pretty soon, you just because you are conscious and you know you are dreaming, it doesn't necessarily mean you have control over your body or the things around you. That's a deeper level of lucid dreaming, and sometimes you can get stuck, and it can be a very anxiety inducing or panic inducing experience, and you can very easily turn it into a lucid nightmare. And lucid nightmares are terrible, right? You could experience anything, and because you're lucid, right? You're conscious. It's so close to real life that any trauma you might actually face from something like that could actually carry over into the real world. Say, a big example, one of the worst things to experience on lucid dreaming is actually dying. And it's terrible because you're conscious. You think it's real. You're hoping you're dreaming, but you think it's real, Another thing that could happen is you could have a lucid dream, right? And you're having a time of your life, but then being too excited actually causes you to wake up from lucid dreams. So it takes a lot of experience to get through a very exciting event in a lucid dream without waking up. So if you think you're gonna jump into lucid realistic sex, if you're not ready for that, you're going to wake up before you're satisfied with the dream. It's going to happen every time. And some things that can happen if you wake up from a lucid dream like that in a very exciting, say it's a very scary event that wakes you up, you can actually wake up with sleep paralysis. You'll be conscious in bed, but you won't be able to move. And that's even scarier, right? Because now you don't know, are you lucid without control in a dream, or now are you lucid without control in real life? Things become very iffy. People who, because of all these things, these bad side effects, right? People who ignorantly explore lucid dreaming and who take medications for it, like, I'm going to take this pill and I'm going to lucid dream every time I take this pill. Weird things like that. Typically, it's a very easy way to lose touch with reality, because you have so many conflicting memories from two completely different worlds. Say we're talking right now. Say you have a lucid dream and you decide you're gonna talk to me and play Minecraft in that lucid dream. And then something important might come up, and then a couple days later you'll bring it up to me and I'll have no idea what you're talking about because it's not real. It was a lucid dream that you had fabricated, but because it was so close to something you might actually do in real life, it's hard to tell the difference. So yeah, those are the bad things about lucid dreaming. And there's obviously great things about lucid dreaming. It's why people do it. It's why people go after it. And I think the best comparison, honestly, to lucid dreaming, how it works and how your mindset should be, is it's very good to think of it like you're about to take the heaviest dose of acid you could possibly imagine. And if you're going to do that, right? If you're going to take a very, very big dose of acid that you haven't taken before, you have to be ready, at least mentally. You got to be mentally prepared. You got to know that you are taking that acid and that you will be tripping for this amount of time. That's it. Like, you will be in that trip. Whatever you see or experience probably isn't going to be real. And you can use this to your advantage to keep yourself from having a bad trip. And it's the same exact way with lucid dreaming. You got to be ready to have that lucid dream. You don't want to wake up randomly in the middle of this dream and set yourself off in a panic. Like I said, you want to wake up, be like, oh, I know I'm in a dream. Awesome. I know what to do now. I know what to do here. Let's have an awesome, happy dream. And it's really cool. The reason this is fascinating for me is so I have problems with sleeping, and it's not necessarily that I don't get tired. It's that I'm just so conscious constantly all the time that it's hard to stop thinking and go to sleep. It's hard to stop being conscious. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. It's why I don't drink very often. It scares me, right? So when I do dream, most dreams that I have do end up becoming lucid dreams. And they're pretty wild. If I remember a dream, and it's not very often anymore, but if I do remember a dream, it's most likely because it was a lucid dream. And I have experienced some amazing things. I have just done things that I, it's almost like it hurts, right? Like it can almost become addicting because I actually learned how to fly within a dream reality. It's very hard and I can't do it every time. But if I am conscious enough and I'm in full control of my lucid dream, I can take off and fly. I know how to do it. It's and now to reconcile that something so awesome like that, dude. To reconcile that with reality, like, uh, can I fly? I know how to do it. Like, can I do it? It's pretty intense. And I've also experienced some like very terrible things. And it started off really cool and then it ended up really bad. I kept having like lucid nightmare after lucid nightmare after lucid nightmare. And then I found a nice balance, and the balance was to create an alternate reality together where I could live a semi-normal life, but different from, I guess, this life. Like everybody I know is there per se, but it's a different city, and I can draw the city for you because I go to it almost every time I remember a dream at this point. I'm so good at like this is what I need to happen. Like I don't know if it's a protective thing or if this is just where I'm at in my lucid dreaming career. But yeah, I just go to the same place. It's the same place every time. It's a nice little it's a very small town in the middle of the mountains next to what I want to say is the ocean. If it's not the ocean, it's a very large lake. Out into the water, you can't see any land. Like there's land wrapped around, and I've driven around the ring several times in my red hot rod. And it's funny because a lot of things do, like miraculous things do come from the lake. There'll be a fireworks show, or if there is a big celebration, right? A citywide celebration of some sort, fireworks or no fireworks included, it'll take place along the coast of this little town. It's really cool. It's a nice little place to be. I have a nice little quaint life. It can get a little crazy, but I know I'm in a dream. I hop in my car and I drive away and I drive around the mountains until I wake up. I've always considered keeping a journal because I wanted to be a comic book writer for most of my life, and I have so many fantastic stories, original stories that are completely fabricated from the crazy dreams that I have. And it's amazing. Like some of them are really cool and like are a shame that I don't sit here and write them, but it's just one passion at a time, I suppose. It's scary though, is knowing what to draw from or just drawing all of it together can be a little frightening because fireworks and big happy celebrations aren't the only thing that happen on the lake. Silly things happen. The town was invaded by aliens a couple times. Oh no, it was invaded by aliens once, and it was invaded by an army, a governmental army, another time. And they come every time it comes from the lake. They'll come flying over the lake. I explore the mountains, but I've never thought about exploring the lake or the ocean. Not exactly sure. It's big enough to be a beach, but I don't know. And everything in my subconscious, I want to say, is telling me it's bad though, because like I wasn't always at this location, right? I did dream about other locations. and other things like going to school or going to a college or this or that. At one point, like I dreamt about mostly real life stuff, right? My lucid dreams. But at one point, and this, thank God, this ended up turning out to be a dream, right? And I I'm sitting in my bedroom of my mom's old apartment. And this is all a lucid dream, but it's all real life location, right? So I'm in the apartment. I'm just hanging out doing nothing. I hear my brother, for some reason, knocking at the door, which is weird. Why would my brother be knocking at the door? You know, he lives there. I unlock the door. I open it up. Sniped right through the head. I literally watch him get shot through the head and die in front of me. My brother. From then on, it like a goddamn freaking movie. American Assassin is actually a good example because he's having a nice day at the beach and then all of a sudden everybody's killed. Or The Punisher. The Punisher is a good one. Seeing as how American Assassin is kind of just a Punisher ripoff anyway. But yeah, everything kicks into action, and there was a giant war between a government agency and aliens going on out in my front goddamn lawn, flying over trees, explosions, helicopters flying and crashing in front of me, the most vivid crap I've ever seen. And then we ended up in this small town, and we've been there ever since. And it's been nice. I found a balance in the craziness of my subconscious. That's one thing I will kind of point out for myself, like a good way of signaling whether it was a dream or not. For me, is time and technology, to an extent, doesn't exist. I've never watched TV. I've probably seen like a TV, maybe off or something, but I've never watched TV. I've never looked at a watch. I've never looked at my phone. I've never had a phone on me in my dream, which is very different than obviously what real life is. As for a 27-year-old, like obviously I'm addicted to my phone, but not in dream reality. None of that stuff exists. The most technological thing I can think of is my car. That's a good idea because I've also, I have died in my dreams a couple times just by suffocating, which can get pretty scary. I actually have to talk to a doctor about this because I don't think it's my dream affecting reality. I think it's something to do with reality in the way I'm sleeping. I like sleep apnea. So when I wake up in the morning, right, I through 5 years of smoking, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I do still vape. But I'll hack up a lung in the morning. There'll be something. And I don't even. There's debate of whether it's either my lungs or my nose. And it has a lot to do with my nose too, right? 'Cause I don't have a very good functioning nose, so the snot has to go somewhere, and it backs up into my throat at night. So I'm hacking up a lung in the morning, usually every morning. So what happens in the dream is I'll have to hack up a lung, but I can't. I can't do it. Obviously, I can't do it because I'm still sleeping in reality, and I literally suffocate. Or there's another time where I have anxiety attacks sometimes, and I had a lucid dream of me in my bathroom. I felt like I was going to pass out, and I started to panic. And it's very easy to do, to start panic and throw yourself into a lucid nightmare with no control. So I start to panic, and then I do go through the full experience of a panic attack and the experience of passing out per se. And one time, it's just this particular time, I'm in my bathroom and I was taking a bath and I fell into the tub. I remember looking up in the water, like knowing that my dad was right outside the door and that I was just gonna drown here. Screw it. But thankfully, every time you close your eyes in a dream, you typically wake up. Looking for the phone would be a good way to counter that. I haven't had one of those scary dreams in a while, but those are part of the reason why I will say that I spend more time trying to actively not dream if I could avoid it. Because even the good stuff, for as awesome as it is, can just be, at best, a fleeting memory that I'll never be able to recapture, and at worst, an addiction. So that's my full thought on lucid dreaming. What I would recommend too, you have to be very well educated. You have to know what you're about to deal with. Because flying can be fun, but dying is terrible. And it's pretty cool, there's a lot of neat things that you can get away with because I want to stress this, that we don't know what either reality or the dream world, we don't know what either of these things are. We can't be sure, and it's not our place as humans to know. But I think I can say with some positive reinforcement that both of them are two different things, whatever they are. They're not the same thing. There's a theory that it coincides with the Mandela effect, where I'm sure you hear a lot about that in parallel universes. And basically, just to sum all of it up, is that dreams are just, your conscious mind and your, or I should say, your subconscious mind, maybe your conscious mind, and you as a person is split between many different timelines and universes, and your dreams are you just remembering these universes bleeding into our reality. And that's pretty cool. And whether that's true or not, I've managed to take that and make my own little pocket reality in which I reside. it's I've explored enough craziness. I think it's time to explore some craziness in the real world. Good luck with that lucid dreaming, and be careful. No lucid nightmares.